Hello there friends, and today we're going to be discussing refinancing or remortgaging. They are exactly the same thing, just two different names for basically exactly the same thing: refinancing, remortgaging. Some people get confused with that, but they are the same thing, so just a different name. So we're just going to be trying to break it down for people here because it can get a little bit confusing. So I'm just going to talk to you about the different things we can do with mortgaging, the different types of mortgages, and the different things we can do to make money work for us by this wonderful thing of remortgaging properties. So for a buy-to-let property, we would get a buy-to-let mortgage. For a residential property, which is your own home, you would get a residential mortgage. For a HMO, you're letting out sort of multiple rooms, 5-6 rooms, you would get a HMO mortgage. And obviously if you're buying a commercial building, you would get a commercial mortgage, which are the different types of mortgages we can get. Now, a buy-to-let mortgage. Say we got a buy-to-let mortgage and we bought property for 200k. We would typically put in a 50k deposit, as we get a 75% loan to value typically for a buy-to-let mortgage. Now, the wonderful thing, the sexy thing to me is, say I own this property for 10 years and that property goes up to 400k, which is very, very doable if you're buying good properties. And we could then get a new mortgage on this for 300k. So we've still got that 75% loan to value on our 400k. We would then pay off, by refinance this property, our 150k mortgage we had when we got this one. And then we would get 150k. Now, what happens with this 150k? Does it go to the government? Does it go somewhere else? Do we pay tax on that 150k? And the answer is, this 150k when we remortgage goes straight into our bank account and we pay zero tax on that because it is a loan and you can't be taxed on a loan, which is just wonderful. And that 150k, we can do whatever we want with. We can then go and buy another property, which I've done many, many times. You can use it for your lifestyle, buy a car, do whatever you want. And we still have the asset. So that is the advantage of refinancing, rather than just selling this property, making my profit, paying a load of tax on the money I've made, and then I'd never get any benefit from that property again then, because it has been sold. I don't get any rental money, my rental profit every month, and I don't get, if this property goes up to 800 grand, that future benefit, which is why refinancing is so powerful and I just absolutely love it. Now, if you wanted to buy a property for a short term, say you were buying from auction or you bought a property for cash, you want to do it up, you want to take the value up, and then you want to get a normal mortgage on it, I would recommend you actually get a bridging loan rather than a typical mortgage. Now, the reason this is, if you get just a normal buy-to-let mortgage, they typically tie you in for 2 to 5 years. And if you remortgage it or sell it in that point, there is a redemption penalty, quite a big fee a lot of the time, because they want to sort of tie you into that mortgage. So if you have the agenda of, I only want to own this property for 6 months and I want to remortgage it or sell it, the bridging loan is a much better way. And I actually did this many, many times, buying properties at auction, and it's just a short-term, high interest loan. Now, with residential properties, you can do exactly the same as this. When your property goes up in value, you can pull out that equity, but it's a little bit different because the money you earn, you need to be able to prove that you can pay this mortgage. Where my tenants are covering this, even your own income isn't really factored in. Your own income, when it comes to a residential mortgage, is massively factored in. But as long as you're on a good wage and you can prove you earn it, you can just keep on refinancing your residential mortgage and using that for whatever you want to do with, buy a property, buy houses, buy a boat. You can absolutely do this. And this is the power, the incredible power of refinancing or remortgaging, whichever you prefer to call it. And I hope this breaks things down in a simple way to make things a little bit clearer for people that perhaps are not used to this process. And this is just a little mini crash course. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe and comment, and we will see you next week. Thank you very much for watching.